What's up, Tweener heads? Welcome back to another Tweener head tennis video here today with Phil. And if you are new to this channel, hey, how's it going? My name's Phil, and this is where we talk about tennis in a more casual way for you guys to know what's going on and off the court. So we are halfway through the Australian Open, and I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about what's been happening so far and to give you a future idea of what's going to be happening in the future. But before we do that, I just found out something very interesting. Apparently, over 85% of you that are watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. Huh? What? But if you are here and you are already subscribed, thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you are not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and join us. We're almost at 700 subscribers. We are so close, and hopefully we can get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Now, let's dive into the first week of the Australian Open. In terms of matchups that are happening right now, in the round of 16 already, we have Djokovic versus Raonic, Federer versus Sandgren, and then tonight, the people that are playing for a spot in the round of 16, we have Nadal versus Kyrgios, and the winner of that is going to be Monfils and Team. That's already unbelievable. I might stay up for that Kyrgios-Nadal match. That's going to be insane. Then we have Medvedev versus Wawrinka, a great match, and then Zverev versus Rublev. On the women's side, in the round of 16, we have Barty versus Kvitova already in the matchup in the round of 16. Then we have Kenin versus Jabeur. Jabeur that beat Wozniacki earlier this week. Unbelievable. And Kenin just took out Coco Gauff in 3 sets. Then you have Kontaveit versus Swiatek, and then Mertens versus Halep. The winner of Kontaveit and Swiatek is playing the winner of Mertens and Halep in the round of 16. Then you have Muguruza versus Bertens. And then the winner of that plays Kerber versus Pavlyuchenkova. Pavlyuchenkova also taking out Karolina Pliskova. Interesting matchups all around. This is already adding up to be one of the most entertaining tournaments of the year, just because of the amount of great talent in this. Some of the headlines that happened this week already, we had Wozniacki's retirement. She lost to Ons Jabeur in 3 sets. And Wozniacki had an unbelievable career. I can't believe she's already retiring. I think she should have at least done another year or two. So I'm very happy for her that she got to win a Grand Slam before she retired at the Australian Open. It was only fitting for her to retire at the place where she won her first and only Grand Slam. Then you have Serena Williams losing to Cheng Wang. Did anyone else see that coming? I personally did not. It's crazy how that happened because, in my opinion, Serena, definitely going into it, looked a lot fitter, was playing really well up until that match. During her match against Wang, I felt like she wasn't playing her best and definitely was not playing as well as she could have. Wang did a very good job, though, playing to her strengths and counter-punching unbelievably well against Serena and matching Serena's powerful ground strokes pound for pound with each shot. And it just felt so much better than some of the other women that have played Serena in the past, just that are maybe a little bit more intimidated or can't handle the power of Serena. Wang was doing an unbelievable job with that, and that's how I think she won. Next, you have Tennis Sandgren, and Sandgren he's the Italian slayer this tournament. He beat Matteo Berrettini earlier in the tournament, as well as Fabio Fognini in the last round. Fabio Fognini has been in the top 10 in the world. He's only been to 1 round of 16 in the Grand Slam. Sandgren, his highest ranking was 41 in the world, and he's made it twice. That's crazy. He's the only American left in the men's draw, which is crazy out of all the American men to make it this far out of every single one, because there were so many. I think another headline that was really interesting to me was Ernst Gobis. He made it to the 3rd round of the major and lost to Monfils. How the heck did he get that far? I haven't heard this guy's name in years, and now he beat Felix Auger-Aliassime in the 1st round. Who knew? Felix has also not been playing his best, but still. And then he beat a man from Slovakia called Bendanen. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but that's crazy. I can't believe that. And the last headline I would like to point out from week 1 is the amount of 5-setters that happened this week. You had Khachanov playing 2. He played Michael Yamir. Khachanov won the 5th set 10-8 in the super tiebreaker, because now at the Australian Open, if it's 6-6 in the 5th, you play a super tiebreaker. And then Khachanov loses a 5-setter thriller against Nick Kyrgios. He loses 10-8 this time instead of winning 10-8. That was unbelievable. Then you have Federer Millman, a rematch of the US Open last year when it was so humid. Both of them looked like they just jumped in the pool at the US Open last year. It was crazy, this match, because Millman was up 8-4 in the 5th set super tiebreaker. and Federer comes back to win 10-8. Another 5-setter, Anderson and Vashka, that finished around like 2 in the morning. That was unbelievable as well. Then you have Fognini and Thompson. Fognini had 2 5-setters back to back. He already had over, I think, 5-6 hours of match court time before he even played his 3rd round, which was unbelievable because he beat Opelka in the 1st round after coming back from 2 sets down, and then he beat Thompson in 5 sets. So I just thought the 5-setters this year have been unbelievable, and it's just been very entertaining from a tennis standpoint. If we look at the biggest winners so far of the tournament, and then we have the biggest losers, I'm going to start with the winners on men's and women's side. The biggest winners for me on the women's side were Swiatek, Kenin, and Muguruza. Just because Muguruza hasn't been in the mix in such a long time, it's nice to see her getting back to her form that she won Wimbledon and the French Open with. Kenin has been one of the young guns for the women for a couple of years now, and she hasn't broken through at a major, and now she's a top 15 seed, and she beats Coco Gauff in 3 sets, and this is kind of her time to shine in terms of the Americans. So that was unbelievable for her. As well as Swiatek, a young Polish girl that we interviewed at the City Open. You should definitely check that out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Definitely one to look out for. Very good ground strokes, and she has the ability to have fun on court and use a variety of shots. So definitely watch out for her in her match against Kontaveit. In terms of the men, Fucsovics was an unbelievable one to watch as well. He had some unbelievable wins this year at the Australian Open, as well as Tommy Paul, who upset Grigor Dimitrov this year at the Australian Open. And he's another American that's been around a while, but he's still so young that definitely should be getting a lot more credit where credit is due for a young American. So I want to see him do very well throughout the rest of the year. In terms of the biggest losers, I have to go with the Canadian duo, Denis Shapovalov, who lost in the 1st round, as well as Felix Auger-Aliassime. It's not the best start that you want. I mean, Dennis did really well at ATP Cup, but I really wanted to see him do well at the bigger tournaments like a Grand Slam, and it was hard to see him lose in the 1st round, as well as Felix Auger-Aliassime. Just because he's so young, and there seems like there's so much pressure on him already that he just needs to step back a little and kind of take in everything and just go forward with a new approach, it seems like. In terms of the women, there was 2 that really stood out to me. Pliskova, for one, didn't play her best of the ability against Pavlyuchenkova. Pavlyuchenkova played really well, I thought, but Pliskova, for being someone that's been in the top 5 for a while and has been hanging around, she hasn't been really moving forward in these tournaments because she gets so close and yet so far, but she hasn't cracked that formula for winning at the biggest of tournaments like Grand Slams. I definitely think she definitely needs to win a Grand Slam if she wants to be a Hall of Famer, but I thought that was a very disappointing loss for her, as well as Sloane Stephens, the former U.S. Open champion, just not getting it together lately. The 2020 already had a rough start for her. She bounced in the 1st rounds of both her opening tournaments, and then she loses so early in the Australian Open. That was kind of weird. So that's another one that's kind of fading away in the rankings for the American women. So you guys, let me know what you guys thought of the first week of the Australian Open. If I missed any headlines or if I missed any great matches that I should have watched, let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Australian Open. If you want to join us at more behind-the-scenes content, what's happening on and off the court, check out all the social medias down in the description below, as well as our Patreon, where you can get behind-the-scenes footage and we're seeing looks at some of the stuff we're doing as well. So check that out in the description below, as well as our website at tweenerheadtennis.com. And I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks, guys.